I can't believe you're a terrible person because you're actually reselling this. I want to talk about those things that you refuse to sell morally, that you won't sell. Things maybe that I won't sell, things that you won't sell, things that you would unsubscribe from my channel if I sell. Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I've got a great topic today. I love days like this. Got some great unique sales, interesting, couple high dollar, but mostly just kind of bread and butter stuff, but things that people might not think of. But I also have a great topic. Maybe a little bit controversial. You know, we're going to delve into politics and religion and thermal printers and stuff. I'm kidding. Well, I'm kind of kidding. I'm not going to get into politics and religion per se, but I want to bring up a topic because it's something I hear all the time as a creator who's on multiple platforms, where somebody will see me buy something and they'll say, I'm unsubbing because you bought X or Y. I would never sell such a thing. I can't believe you're a terrible person because you're actually reselling this. I want to talk about those things that you refuse to sell morally, that you won't sell. Maybe this is something more common than I think, so I want to talk about things maybe that I won't sell, things that you won't sell, things that you would unsubscribe from my channel if I sell, and I want to do it all without starting a flame war in the comments. Let's go take a look. For those folks who might be new to this channel, we add about 50 folks a day or so. We usually get to the topic after we do 4 sales. And this is the first of the 4 sales. I got to find the right one. I'll put it up here in the picture. I don't even know. I don't know which one it is. I'm going to guess it's this one right here. And you're looking at it right now is my guess. And this poster sold for $25 plus shipping. We ship them out in the long SupplyHut boxes, which are upstairs, so I can't show them to you right now. Today's topic is so interesting to me, especially as a high school history teacher, because a lot of historical kind of things become an issue as well. And I'll probably commentate throughout the whole video about different items, but there are some interesting topics as well. You know, why would you sell this? You're an awful person kind of thing. These are some sweet books right here, and I got this from the Granny Called Me Out sale or something like that. You know, take your phone and shove it or something like that. And actually, I didn't get it from that particular sale. I got it from that video. And these Isaac Asimov books right here sold as a lot. I think they sold for $15 plus shipping. Let me look. Yeah, $15 plus shipping. They've been hanging around for a while. And they finally sold. One benefit of having this loft area is that you can store stuff up there. Not just boxes, but bigger stuff, which is where I got this from. It was up there. I spared you the anxiety of me climbing up on my wooden ladder. A lot of people complain. They're like, oh, you made me so nervous. That lawn chair right there sold for $35 plus shipping. And everybody's like, oh, why would you ever sell those? You know what? They're not that hard. You find the right box. Find a TV box and cut it in half, slide it in, fold it down, ship it UPS. You know, you pay $1 or $2 sometimes, sell for $35. Quick $28 profit on something like that, and it's really not that hard. And I normally don't talk about shipping this early, but I have been using this box, the SupplyHut 4x4x48. I've been cutting it exactly in half and then cutting down one side, making it into a triangle to make it much more sturdy. So I can ship out 2 posters in these boxes right here. And it's been working out pretty well, I think. And it's cheaper than buying the 24x4x4. Thank you to Charlie over at SupplyHut. If you want some boxes like that, go check them out. SupplyHut.com, code Commonwealth for 5% off. But I wanted to also say thank you to Michael, Jennifer, and Alan, who all bought plans for the Commonwealth Picker shipping table over on CommonwealthPicker.com. Just realized that right there was packaged together with this Rubbermaid. I love buying these, especially the green ones, but I only pay $1 because they don't go for that much. This one sold for $14.99 plus shipping. And, you know, old Rubbermaid stuff, especially in that color, will sell. There's a bigger one too that sells, but you know, I'll pick them up if they're $1 and they're in good shape. But they sold together, so I can only assume, Miriam, that you are a viewer, unless maybe you saw it in the store and, you know, saw that and you're like, I'm going all vintage. At any rate, thank you for that. If you are a viewer, I do appreciate it. And so total there, I guess I could ship those together. I'll figure out a way to ship those together, probably. Almost certainly. $14.99 plus shipping, $34.95 plus shipping. Will combine them and combine the shipping costs. All right, y'all, as we talk about this topic, which I find rather intriguing, you know, I was a high school history teacher for a long time, so part of what was fun to me was kind of digging into the intellect, the mind of the kids that were sitting in front of me. I enjoyed that a lot because, you know, I taught the same thing for 21 years. The only thing that really changed is the audience. I want to talk to the audience, but I also want to get your feedback in the comments. And these are some, they can be touchy issues for some people. They shouldn't be if you know, if your worldview is right in the way that you see other people and their opinions and you have respect for that, you know, you can kind of walk around those things and be polite and nice. Hopefully that's the case, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who get ticked off. Probably a lot of people who unsubscribe right now, and you know it. So if you like the show and you haven't ever subscribed, maybe to counteract them, you know, you go hit that subscribe button, or maybe even hit that alert bell as well, so you get notifications on this channel and the Commonwealth Picker channel. So anyway, let's talk about items that you refuse to sell, that you won't sell, or maybe even people are more passionate, because I get comments all the time when I'm out at sales picking up stuff. I would never pick up X. I would never pick up Y. And I'm going to talk about those specific ones. Political items. People wouldn't sell something from this politician or from this party or for that party. Religious items they wouldn't sell. Other items as well, and I want to talk about those because I think probably the second or third most visceral reaction I ever got was when I picked up a mink coat. And I know people are passionate about it. I know people love animals. I know, you know, there's two different sides to the coin. There's people who love to hunt, and there's people who, you know, all kinds of different arguments. I don't really want to dig into that. Really, I want to look at the psyche of the person and really just say, hey, you know what? If you don't want to do something, don't do it. It's okay. But it's kind of funny to me when somebody, if it's a reseller, for instance. So if it's just somebody watching the show and they're like, I'm unsubscribing, and I could see there was more unsubscribes from that video where I bought that, you know, 50-year-old mink coat or whatever it was. And, you know, it's like, well, you know, I could delete it, but it doesn't bother me to sell a mink coat. Now, it would bother me to, you know, sell an elephant tusk, right? To me, that's a little different, but everybody draws the line in different places. What I think is interesting is that a reseller, I knew they were a reseller because they've commented before. They unsubscribed from me because of that. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's not adding up. You won't watch my show because I bought that, but you will sell on eBay and they sell that? Something doesn't add up. And there's a few of those things that I think are interesting. I totally respect the opinion of somebody who doesn't want to sell something like that. I totally get it. And this is not to encourage, you know, fighting in the comments. It's really to talk about things that maybe you won't buy, and some inconsistencies and some consistencies in your own personal beliefs, because there are actually things I won't buy and I won't sell. I'm going to bring up some of those, and I'm going to walk back here. I don't think it's still hanging here. It's probably in one of these. Actually, it might be. It's right here. So, Redskins. This one doesn't have, you know, the actual Redskin Indian on it at all. And this was a debate we'd have in my class, of course, AP World History, and, you know, Native American, indigenous people, Indians, all were accepted and used in my AP history book. And, you know, some kids didn't like it. We talk about Columbus Day, and I won't celebrate this, and I won't do whatever. And so I have quite a bit of experience, I hope, with looking through things in a logical, reasonable way and getting people's opinions. But I haven't really done this other than minor times from time to time with the audience. I'm curious, you know, eBay allows the sale of Redskin stuff. And I've had resellers tell me, you know, you're a boy. I mean, I've been called every name in the book because I sell that vintage Redskin stuff. And, you know, it doesn't bother me. I don't have a problem with it. It might bother you, but it doesn't bother me. It certainly doesn't bother eBay yet. And I think that's why this kind of a conversation is important. Some of you have been around the channel long enough. You remember me walking back here. It's about a year ago at this point, and I would walk back here every day. And I would turn the camera. They were in this bin right here. And we would sell those Dukes of Hazzard die-cast cars. And we were selling them for like, I don't know, 80 bucks a piece, I think. I bought them for 10 and I was selling them for 80, and they were flying out of here. And I had a lot of people unsubscribe then, and they're, you know, they wouldn't sell something that had a Confederate flag on it and stuff like that. I had a book sitting up here for a long, long time. And every once in a while I would get a comment about it. It was Uncle Remus. I don't know if you remember that, sitting up here. And I find tremendous value in that book. Yeah, you know, you can, to me, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but to me, to look at history and to actually embrace the history and see it for what it is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I don't think we need to hide it. We don't need to disguise it. We need to look at it as fact, or what is fact, as factually as possible, and embrace that. Don't necessarily agree with it. Don't necessarily disagree with it, but don't erase it. Now, that's my opinion. And I hope that eBay thinks the same way. I have a feeling they don't, with some of the things they allow and some of the things they don't. But to me, history is valuable and it should not be erased. Now, there might be limits to that, right? I certainly get that. And there are limits to what eBay will allow, like pornography. I'm not going to sell some hardcore porn stuff. I'm not going to do that. eBay used to allow that a little bit more. They don't much anymore, of course. But I wouldn't do that before. But, you know, that's me. It may not be you, but that's me. One of my favorite buddies who goes out picking with me buys that stuff all the time, but I wouldn't do it. And no, that's not NC Picker. It's, well, I don't want to tell you his name because he's on some videos, but he does not have a YouTube channel. You know what the most controversial thing is that I buy? It's right here. It's these Bibles. That gets people riled up more than any other thing that I sell. And there's plenty of more things, and I'm going to talk about them in a second. But Bibles, every time, and it's, you'd be surprised. It's not just the people saying, you know, you shouldn't sell the Word of God. You should give the, you know, Word of God away or whatever. And my reply almost always to those folks are, you know, because I've had people say, hey, I'm unsubscribing. You're a jerk. You're a whatever. Because I buy and sell Bibles all the time. And I always reply to them. I always say, you know what? Do you shop at Walmart? Are you going to boycott what you're boycotting my show? Are you going to boycott Walmart because they sell Bibles? And most people would say no. But you know what? At the same time, there's a lot of wonderful comments of people who don't sell Bibles, and they buy them all the time and they donate them. That's what they want to do. And you know what? They should be able to do that, and we shouldn't be able, we should be able to, but we shouldn't criticize them for that. And I think that all of us kind of draw the line somewhere. Some people probably don't draw the line at anything, right? And maybe that's you. Comment below. If I can make a buck on it, I'm going to sell it. So what out there won't use? I've seen, you know, people, you know, taxidermy stuff. I've seen, what else have I seen? People, Ouija boards. Someone's like, I'm not ever selling a Ouija board or whatever. My wife probably wouldn't like it if I brought a Ouija board in the house anyway. She didn't like that stuff. Magic 8 ball. I sold a Magic 8 ball years ago. Like, oh, that's the occult. I'm like, well, okay. It's a, you know, I suppose it can be to some people, I suppose. And there's always something. If you remember a video I did with, it's been a while now, but one guy's like, had an NBA thing at his yard sale, and he hated the NBA for political reasons, I guess. And I've had people say, you know, I'm not selling any more NFL stuff because of this or that. You know, who the heck knows? You know, back to Bibles, because I want to make one more point. I've actually had people say, on the other side of the spectrum, I refuse to sell a Bible, not because they're, you know, saying I'm holier than thou and I'm going to give it away, but because they, in their comments, they'd say that they don't want to spread lies around, so they're not selling the Bible. So it's the other side of the equation, right? I've sold stuff from every political party. There was a video I did, and I remember, I think Dave NC Picker told me this too. I think he bought a Donald Trump shirt, and somebody, you know, somebody started comments down below and it got crazy out of hand, and they won't sell this or they won't sell that. And he's like, hey, I'll sell anything from any party. What do I care? You know, and I've sold political pins from the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. That stuff doesn't bother me. Who cares? It doesn't bother me at all, right? So I bought some, let's see, my favorite thing, by the way, I've ever sold politically is a I can't remember. There's a bunch of them. 1962, 1963, 1964 NAACP civil rights pin. And it sold for big bucks. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for it. And we sold, you know, the years leading up to, ramping up to the civil rights legislation, as well as the year of the civil rights legislation, sold for good money. But I've sold political pins probably for every president since maybe Roosevelt. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it goes back to Hoover, I think. Anyway, I have sold the thing that caused a ton of grief for some folks, and it was actually on a Facebook video the other day, which is why I'm doing this video now, because I remembered it, was I bought dice from the Trump Plaza Hotel. And boy, man, this made the people on Facebook mad. And it's funny because, you know, resellers versus people who are just watching are totally different. I don't get too many resellers who get upset if I grab something like that, because they get it. Plus, I think they realize the inconsistency, right? If you're gonna not watch somebody because he sells this or that, but you will sell on eBay and they allow this and that to be sold, you know, you got a pretty weak, pretty inconsistent argument, I suppose. Now, if you just don't want to do it, that's another thing. But anyway, tell me what you think below without, you know, really upsetting anybody, without saying anything too ridiculous, because that's not what this is about. It's really more about, is there anything that your conscience doesn't allow you to sell? I'll tell you what, I've sold some pretty crazy horror movies before. I remember I've talked about Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, the VHS, and you know, that's pretty rough at times for sure. And when I brought that stuff in there, I hid it because my wife's like, I don't want that stuff in my house and whatever. And it was worth too much. I just had to sell it. At any rate, tell me in the comments below, is there anything that you just will refuse to sell? Look at this, very next item up right here. Not that, although that might be appropriate. Is this thing right here, right? Oh, Scotch glass with a cigarette. This is pretty cool. Do y'all see this? The cigar holder in the glass itself, which is really interesting. That one sold for $15 plus shipping. You would be shocked at some of the things I hear that people like. I've had people say, I won't sell Harry Potter, or I won't sell, you know, the Hobbit stuff or whatever. I'm like, whoa, and you're really cutting yourself off. There's a lot of stuff you can't sell. Speaking of not selling or not finding things, I couldn't find anything one day at a sale. It was a highway sale. It was like day 3, and there was hardly anything left. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start finding stuff. I'm going to start looking at stuff that I never look at on purpose. These Homeco birds right here. And I picked them up super cheap. I think I paid $1 or $2, maybe $3. They sold for 20 bucks plus shipping. And I've been picking more and more of this type of stuff. Really because of that day. Because I started to search more and more for it that day. And they're super light. And who wouldn't want these hummingbirds? They're really cool. Sold a pair of buckle jeans, and they haven't been in here long because they're right on top. And those sold for, I think, $22 plus shipping, $22.80 plus shipping. And I have a video about how to ship jeans cheaper. You can put them in here really, really quick, or you can put them in a, I hear somebody, in a poly bag. You put them in here, a little bit more expensive. Come on in, bud, we'll do your sale here. And slide them in there, and you can save about 50 cents. All right, Turner's got his hands full, and this isn't even all on Turner. Yeah. Got some Pooh Bears, vintage Sears. You got a giant Tigger. Where's the other Tigger? Oh, there's a Tigger over here. There you go. Put that right there. And there should be a Curious George around here. You see Curious George anywhere? I don't see Curious George. Maybe I'll throw him up at a picture. He's probably back in there somewhere. You sold a bunch of stuff to Sharon. Sharon, thank you. Will you say thank you, Sharon?
Thank you, Sharon.
And this is like $80 worth of stuff.
Crazy.
Pretty nuts, huh? Thank you, Sharon. Oh, and you got a gift too. Come here. Yeah, look at this. Here, you got more stuff. Put in your hands. Okay. ABC Matt sent us, see that right there? This game right here. Is this cool? Thank you, by the way. He has a channel. Y'all should go check it out. This magnetic baseball game. Oh, see, y'all get to play fun stuff in the car when we're on the road, you know? You get to play all kinds of stuff. When I was a kid, we had to play this kind of stuff. That's all we had, you know?
Oh, gosh.
What do you think of that?
It looks
like
cool.
A magnetic game.
It looks pretty cool.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right, will you tell Matt thank you?
Thanks, Matt.
Will you thank Sharon as well?
Thank you, Sharon.
It's going to be $4 to
save $4. Wait, no.
Yep. Actually, it's $5.
Yeah, $5, yeah. $5 to save, $5 to spend, and $5 to donate.
Thank you, bud.
Bye.
I forgot I had that other bin over there. That came from American Arbitrage and Lady Arbitrage. I believe you bought that at the 127 sale and just didn't have enough room to take it home. So thank y'all for that. And those are all headed out to Sharon. Sharon, thank you. Speaking of Carrie, American Arbitrage, we are announcing the Trash to Cash meetup date with me and NC Picker and Carrie, and there should be quite a few other resellers there, both YouTube and otherwise. It's going to be in Vegas. We're going to announce that on the next Trash to Cash podcast, which should come out, I guess you're seeing this probably on Monday, should come out tomorrow. So if you want to go check that out, go over there, Trash to Cash Podcast, on all podcast platforms, also on YouTube. So there you go. And that hat right there, I think this says repeat buyer. So it says Bradley. So Bradley, if you're a viewer, thank you. I don't see a message on the purchase. Sometimes people put messages in the messaging system and I don't see them. So that actually used to be my hat. You may remember me wearing that hat on videos a couple years ago. And I haven't worn it in a while, so I'm like, well, I guess we'll sell it. I had to sell something. My rack was getting full. I have this rack here, but then I also have like another one inside that's got more than that. So anyway, thank you. $20 for that one plus shipping. This cat's being a bully. I'll get you a treat. I will sell cats, especially Boots. I have no problem whatsoever selling cats. I like No Name, Pepper I like, but Boots I can definitely sell. But anybody want Boots? Just let me know. And I have a movie, should be, well, now I don't see it. It's Dirty Dancing. Y'all see Dirty? Oh, there it is down there. Not sealed. And this is the first run of Dirty Dancing, and it was filmed here in Virginia, Mountain Lake. Not Smith Mountain Lake, that's closer to me, but it's Mountain Lake, which was a lake that disappeared. And they have a hotel up there. But at any rate, I decided I'd put it out there, even though it's only $3.50 plus shipping. And somebody bought it. Eventually, somebody bought it. Is it worth it? It is to me, just because I wanted somebody to have it. By the way, I didn't buy it to resell it, so there you go. In other words, I'm not into it for anything. Probably got it for free, to be honest with you. Hey, Kevin, I'm a subscriber and really enjoy your content. Thank you for the great entertainment and advice that you give. Great video with your wife the other day. And of course, your wife is correct and let you have it for it. That was a fun video. I enjoyed that. Of course, my wife's always correct. Always. Always. I totally understand. We have all been there. I'm surprising my wife with this VHS, her favorite movie ever. Thanks again. God bless you. Did you know? You should go. It's about an hour and a half from here. Where Virginia Tech is. North of Blacksburg is where that movie was made. I sold that vintage single stitch t-shirt. That was a cool t-shirt. So anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy. I hope she enjoys. Would you sell a plush enema? Would you sell a plush enema on eBay? Of course you would. You know, speaking of, I had a rush of sales for people. A rush. We sold a half dozen of the enema men for people that wanted them as Valentine's gifts. I should talk about Valentine. Maybe I will in a minute. Like, really? You're going to give a plush enema? Every year this happens, we sell a bunch, and then people's like, don't mention my name. I want it to be a surprise. So that might be one of you out there, and if it is, I wish you luck with that gift. I hope it doesn't end poorly. Accidentally walked past what I was going to grab. It's your fault. I blame you. Giving you so many treats. American Girl Hallmark pins. Right there. Those aren't political. There you go. Those sold for $8 plus shipping. This might have been a Maryland one, I think. I don't know where I got these from. I have no idea. Anyway, $8 plus shipping. Hey, I keep forgetting to mention something. I list with my phone, and I'm curious out there. I've heard a few people give me feedback, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I can no longer reply on my phone with the new update. So I might need to figure out how to go back to the old one. I don't know what I need to do. Some of y'all maybe can help me. I should tell you, but I can't figure it out. I'm trying to figure out how to reply with offer on my phone. I've always been able to reply to a message with an offer on my computer. I've always been able to do it on my phone. Now I can't do it on my phone, only my computer. Somebody said you had to act like you're adding an attachment, and then you can do it, which of course seems ridiculous. So a few little bugs in this. So if you've had some trouble with the new update, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do a little research and make a list of all of them and see if we can't come up with something. Or maybe I'll put it on the Trash to Cash Podcast Facebook group. That might be what I do. Now here's something legitimate. People say, hey, I'm not going to sell that on eBay. I don't want to get sued or whatever. And this is kind of one of those things. And it's an old motorcycle helmet. And the vintage ones I really don't have a problem doing. I don't know if it's this one. I don't think it is. I think it's this one. That one went for more. It wasn't even the best buy in the world. Sold for $28, I think, something like that. We're gonna make a little bit of money on it, but they're cool. Old skull caps. So That one wasn't a huge sale, but would you sell something like that? I hear people tell me I'm not going to sell makeup on there for 2 reasons. I've heard because of lawsuits and stuff like that, you know, Mary Kay and all that stuff. And I've also heard of people who say they won't sell this kind of makeup because they do testing on animals, or because you know, what the makeup is made of, and all kinds of stuff like that. So let me know in the comments and try to be nice to each other. All right, we have some sales out of the CommonwealthPicker.com store. What do you got?
Yep. Nancy got a tumbler. Michael got a fanny pack and tumbler. Michelle and John got a trash to cash sticker. Jennifer got an Animal Man. Josephine got a gray CWP shirt and a blue CWP shirt.
Yeah.
And a gray and black trash to cash shirt.
Boy, she got 4 shirts.
Yeah.
Holy moly, you know what? They're already in there. They're already packed up.
Ooh.
Bubba's girlfriend did it today because you've had a busy day. And she came in here today with Wallen, of course. And she saw these and she wants one. So,
yeah, we're going to put one
there you
on.
go. Who's your favorite character? I know what the answer is.
What do you think it is?
I think it's Squidward.
Uh-huh. I like Squidward. I love Patrick, though, too. SpongeBob, I like SpongeBob. But you remind me of Mr. Krabs.
Oh, jeez. That's terrible. Oh, the trash to cash guys are going to have...
Out of everybody.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, you hurt me. Well, I guess it could be worse. It could be Plankton. I don't know that I'd want to be any of those, to be honest with you. I've got to tell you. Anyway. All right, Raymond. Thank you, baby.
Bye. And don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Oh, I forgot over here, my buddy. 88 Pics. Check him out on Instagram, y'all. Really, really cool dude. Appreciate his kindness here. I was second place. I was runner-up in his giveaway. He gave us these tattoos. He said, this is practice for you for the tattoo I'm going to get, which is coming soon. Matter of fact, next episode, you might see me all tattooed up, you know, from tips of my toes all the way on up to my fingertips. What do you think? I'm just going to go all in. Face tattoo, the whole 9 yards. I'm out of Supply Hut for 2 reasons. One is I thought that somebody was going to take pictures of this today, and I thought I'd bring it out here, which we bought it super cheap. There's 2 of them. I think maybe it's got corrosion in it. See, I got a little note here. Is this worth cleaning and taking pictures of? The answer is absolutely yes. So we've got some issues, need new batteries or cleaning or not working. And so I come in and I deal with those, see if I can get things working. So I thought there was another one of those, and there it is right there. Y'all see it? Right there, which is really cool. And that is going to be a pretty good sale. And all of this got pictures today. You remember when we bought these? I found another one. I'll put it on a future video, but that's brand new. Cost $5.99. And I had this sale as well, $13 plus shipping for that ET ornament. That was a retail arbitrage at Walmart from Blue Ridge Mama. So in the light of talking about this and kind of the live and let live kind of scenario philosophy, I guess, and since Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and I mentioned Valentine's Day earlier, wishing all those who bought an Inaman for their significant other the very best of luck. You might need it. I don't know. If I brought this and gave it to my wife, she'd be like, what in the world? Anyway, so, but Valentine's, it's interesting because, of course, you know, he lived in the Roman Empire. You got to forgive me. I'm a history teacher. So as Valentine's is coming up, I used to do this in my classroom and talk about current holidays, no matter what they were, and then tie them to history and make a few points. And I was always trying to teach the Edict of Milan, which is 313 AD, which is the beginning of the acceptance of Christians in the Roman Empire. In other words, all right, live and let live. It's kind of what we're talking about, right? They might not be pagans. You know, Rome is becoming less and less pagan, and the empire's gotten so big at this point that there's different belief systems within the empire, and Christianity is now going to be allowed. And Valentine, who came in the 3rd century, not long before the Edict of Milan, was executed for his beliefs in Christianity. And there's different traditions around him being one of the martyrs, of course. And it's not quite nailed down. There's probably there could have been 2 different Valentines, or in my opinion, there was one Valentine, and then 2 legends kind of came out from them. And you may have heard some of the stories where he was marrying soldiers to their, a soldier and their wife or future wife, I guess. He would marry them, and it was outlawed because the emperor at the time wanted the soldiers to not have a family so they'd be better fighters, and he would secretly marry them. That's one story. And of course, He was put in jail, persecuted, and eventually killed, probably beheaded, and then burned and pierced. And there's different stories, buried in the catacombs. And he, of course, wrote the famous letter to the jailer's daughter, in which he previously had healed. She was blind, and he signed it the day that he was going to die, from your Valentine. And then that's where the legend of the Valentines come from. And of course, he's celebrated in, I think, probably the 5th or 6th century, when St. Patrick was 5th century, I believe, late 5th century. And the Roman Catholic Church had really taken over the empire as it moves northward, and you begin to see the Catholic traditions and the holidays start to change from the pagan holidays. So there you go. There's your history lesson. Thank you all for joining us as always. Hey, SupplyHut.com. Code Commonwealth, 5% off. We appreciate you, Charlie, and we appreciate everybody out there who uses all of our sponsors. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you next time. Baby, I'm super excited. You don't look excited.
I'm not excited. I need to film earlier in the day. You got me out here shipping at 11 o'clock at night.
Look what I got in the mail. Look at this. My bud, Rod, picking and punching, told me to grab him.
That's so gross.
Look at that. Sealed Hulkamania.
I mean, the thing's cool. He's gross. Ugh.
Look at that.
No.
Coliseum video.
I don't
Things
want
in
to.
great
It's
shape.
burning my eyes.
That's good. Look at this. I got another one. Check it
What?
out. Look at these two. I want to get one of them graded. I'm going to keep one. You excited for me? What? I'm going to do that while you do the shipping tonight. I'm going to make sure these go to get graded. Am I on your way?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like an Enema Man for Valentine's Day?
No.
No? All right, babe. Just what you want to do right after you packaged all that stuff.
It's easy.
It's an easy one.
I'll allow it.
You'll allow it 4T. Now, by the time this video airs, this game's over. It's not quite been played yet, so... At any rate, I don't know. I hope this person still wants it. They're not going to return it. What did it sell for? It sold for... I don't have any idea. $24. Not bad.